Here's the shocking truth no one will tell you about trading psychology. Most of the advice you hear, those fancy books, viral TikTok tips, and webinars promising emotional mastery, is useless. Not because the advice is wrong, but because it treats symptoms instead of structure. And that leaves you exhausted, frustrated, and convinced that the problem is you. Welcome to Trading Rebels, where we don't just talk about mindset, we redesign it from the ground up. I once coached a trader, let's call her Maya. Smart, patient, studied every psychology framework imaginable, yet she kept breaking rules in the heat of a trade, feeling guilty after losses, and celebrating luck more than skill. She was following every classic rule: meditate before trading, control your breathing, journal your feelings, but none of it changed her outcomes. Why? Because she was trying to force discipline onto a system that had no structure, no boundaries, no recurrence. The market doesn't reward effort, it rewards design. Maya became a rebel the moment she realized that psychology alone doesn't create consistency. It's what you build into your trading process that does. Here's what most traders never understand. Risk isn't about fear or emotion. It's about structure. The old advice teaches you to suppress fear, to be calm, as if control is a button you can press. It's a myth. It fails because the market doesn't wait for your emotional state. Rebels design every trade with intention, mapping their exposure, knowing their boundaries, and letting structure dictate behavior rather than emotion. Timing is another trap. Traders are told to wait for the perfect moment, to chase setups, to react to market whispers. The old system conditions you to be reactive, to doubt yourself endlessly. Rebels know there is no perfect moment. The perfect move comes from aligned behavior, from executing a model that repeats successfully regardless of the market's mood. Discipline alone won't save you either. You've been told that self-control builds consistency, but discipline in isolation is fragile. The old psychology advice glorifies willpower as if it can overcome chaos. Rebels don't rely on willpower, they build systems where correct behavior happens automatically. Habits become architecture, emotion becomes irrelevant, and the market stops being a predator because your design engineers the outcome. Here's how you can start applying this today. Stop obsessing over controlling your feelings. Stop following every generic tip about patience or fear. Instead, design your trades, define your rules, and create recurring processes that enforce correct behavior without relying on fleeting willpower. Begin every session knowing your boundaries, your plan, and your structured risk. Let your system handle the psychology so you can focus on execution. That's how you turn frustration into mastery, chaos into consistency, and emotional roller coasters into predictable performance. Rebels, it's time to stop following advice that leaves you broken. Subscribe to Trading Rebels. Share this with every frustrated trader you know. Comment your biggest struggle below, and check back for more truths that the old system doesn't want you to hear. Stand firm, trade by design, and reclaim your edge. Because here, being a rebel isn't optional. It's the only way to survive and thrive.